Hi, this is Nikki from childrefuge.org, and today I want to go into more detail about Facebook. We've talked about Facebook in previous videos, so please subscribe to our channel or visit childrefuge.org to get more information about social media to protect your child or your teenager. I want to talk about some best practices with your profile. We've already talked about how your profile needs to be set with the highest amount of privacy. You want to go to account, privacy settings, and friends only for your children, for your teenagers. We don't suggest a child ever have a social media account, and actually we really don't suggest teenagers up to a certain point have a Facebook account either, especially teenagers under 14. Even Facebook suggests that, and if you choose not to adhere to that, then that's your choice, but know that you're taking a risk with your child unless you are there with them and you have the account with them. Okay? It is a way that they can be solicited by an online predator. You don't have to be totally scared of it, because if you do the right things, you can protect your children from these things, but you do need to understand that it is not just a safe place where your child should be just roaming around without some kind of supervision. And we don't suggest anyone under 14. So you've changed the privacy setting to friends only. Let's talk about some things that you should not do. For your photos, of course your teenagers are going to want to put personal, fun photos of themselves. Make sure that your teenagers know, and if your teenager watched this, that what's on the internet stays on the internet. I once had a pastor that let me know that before he let anybody do anything at the church, like sing or lead, he would check to see their Facebook. Employers check Facebook. In fact, Facebook itself says that in the future it wants to be a verification source. So somebody comes and they need information, they want to visit Facebook. So information can be seen by a lot of people, and even if you set your privacy to your own friends, your picture can get out there. So make sure your pictures are always appropriate and that they don't have too much information in them. You don't want any information that is going to come back to bite you in the butt, or just be inappropriate, or things like that. You do not want to put a status on there, which means here where you share something that shares too much information. And now you're asking, well, if it's only for my friends, what does that matter? Well, the problem is that Facebook doesn't do any kind of verification. So your teenager may befriend a 16-year-old boy that she thinks is incredibly cute by the picture, and it's a 55-year-old pedophile. So it does make a difference what you put in your status and what you put in your pictures. So you want to make sure your teenagers don't put something like where they're going to be, when they're going to go on vacation, where they're going to go on vacation to. If you're not going to be there, oh, my parents are going to be out of town for their anniversary, things like that. You don't want that information, because you're basically telling a pedophile, hey, there aren't going to be parents. You don't want them to put information like that, or let them put information about their location or anything like that. You definitely don't want them to put specific information on your address and different things like that in your info about yourself. So let's look at my profile so I can show you what I'm talking about. So here's a profile. Hi, there's me and Grant, my husband. And you don't want information that could be just too much. So here, of course, you don't want your address. You don't want, you know, your phone number, things like that. Again, for the pictures, for example, you don't want, like, if your teenager's really excited that you got him a new car, you don't want the license plate number. It sounds a little paranoid, but people make a living trying to either rip people off using Facebook, and this is a avenue for pedophiles. There are over 50 chapters of NAMBLA, which is North American Man-Boy Love Association. So sick people are on Facebook. That's a pedophile group. So those are some simple best practices. We're going to go through some more. Please subscribe to our channel and visit childrefuge.org to learn how to protect your child. Thanks. Have a great day. Hi, this is Nikki from childrefuge.org, and today I want to go